My girlfriend texted, I think we should break up as a test. I didn't argue. I just replied, I agree. Your stuff will be on your porch in an hour. Within seconds, my phone lit up with desperate messages. Wait, what, Ryan? That's not what I meant. She said it was a joke, but I was serious. Let me rewind a little. My name is Ryan. I was 28 when this incident happened, and at the time I was working in IT support for a mid-sized company. Most of my days were quiet, long hours behind a desk answering calls, typing emails, and watching the clock tick. But that day turned out to be the loudest day of my life, even though it started with nothing more than a single buzz from my phone. The message lit up the screen. Ryan, I think we should break up. This isn't working anymore. It was from Alexis, my girlfriend of almost 2 years. Most people would have felt a rush of panic, maybe start dialing back immediately, desperate to fix things. That used to be me, scrambling, explaining, promising. But instead, I just stared at the message and felt a strange kind of peace wash over me, like setting down a weight I didn't realize I'd been carrying. This wasn't new. Alexis had pulled this same move many times before. It had almost become a routine. The month before, she'd threatened to leave because I couldn't take a random Wednesday off work to attend her friend's birthday dinner. Before that, she blew up because I suggested we split her $300 birthday dinner bill. Each time it ended the same way, she'd say, maybe we're not compatible. I'd panic and plead, and eventually she'd forgive me like she was doing me a favor. It was always a test, a way to see if I cared enough to fight for her. But this time, I wasn't going to play along. I typed back, I agree. Your stuff will be on your porch in an hour. I set the phone down, almost expecting silence. Instead, it buzzed almost instantly. Wait, what? Followed by, Ryan, that's not what I meant. Then a string of crying emojis. Then came the real kicker. I was testing you to see if you'd fight for us. Real boyfriends don't just give up that easily. And just like that, the truth was in writing. All those previous breakups, all the tears and begging hadn't been about our relationship. They were experiments, ways to measure how much control she had over me. That realization changed everything. On my drive home that evening, I thought about how much of my space had gradually become hers. The shoes by the door, the makeup scattered across the bathroom counter, the stack of her clothes piling on my dresser. 7 boxes and 4 garbage bags later, the apartment felt different, lighter, almost quiet in a way it hadn't been for months. Meanwhile, my phone buzzed nonstop. By the time I finished packing her things, I had 52 missed calls and more texts than I could count. The last one just said, "You can't do this. We need to talk." The next morning, I found out what she meant. I woke up to the sound of stomping on my stairs. When I opened the door, there she was, mascara streaked down her cheeks, wearing the same clothes from yesterday. She pounded on the door like the building was on fire. "Ryan, we need to talk," she shouted. Before I could answer, there was a crash. She had hurled one of the boxes of her things against my door. That's when she pulled out her phone, dialed her mom, and put the call on speaker right there on the porch. "Mom, you need to talk to Ryan," she said between sobs. "He's being unreasonable. I told him we should break up because I was frustrated, and instead of fighting for our relationship, he just agreed. I was testing him." There was silence. Then her mother's voice came through, steady and sharp. "You were testing him? Alexis, you told him you wanted to break up, and when he respected your decision, you're angry? That's not how healthy relationships work. You don't threaten to leave someone as a test." That silence afterward was heavier than anything Alexis or I could have said. Her own mother had taken my side, but Alexis wasn't done. Over the next few weeks, she escalated in ways I hadn't seen coming. First came the fake pregnancy scare, late night messages, screenshots of supposed test results that didn't add up, then the crying selfies on social media, captions about how I had abandoned her. She showed up at restaurants I went to, sat near my office building, even called my work pretending to be a medical professional needing to speak with me urgently. My manager pulled me aside one afternoon asking if I was okay, because a woman claiming to be from a clinic had called 3 times that morning. One evening, I walked out of my building to find a stranger waiting for me. "Are you Ryan?" he asked. "Yeah." "I'm Kyle. Alexis told me how you treated her, how you made her feel worthless. She said you broke up with her out of nowhere, that you manipulated her, made her believe she was crazy." I didn't argue. I just pulled out my phone and showed him the texts. Every threat, every test, her admission that she had been manipulating me. I even showed him doorbell camera footage of her throwing boxes and screaming on my porch. Kyle's face went pale as he scrolled through it all. She didn't say any of this," he muttered. "Kyle," I told him quietly, "run as fast as you can. She's doing to you exactly what she did to me." He left without another word. By then, it wasn't just an inconvenience, it was harassment. One morning, I walked out to find her sitting outside my office with handmade signs. "Let's talk," and "You can't ignore love." I filed for a restraining order. At the hearing, I showed the judge everything: the text where she admitted to testing me, the screenshots, the videos, the calls to my work. The judge didn't waste time. "Ma'am," he said firmly, "you told him you wanted to break up. He accepted. Everything else you've done since then is harassment." The order was granted immediately. She was told to stay 200 yards away from me at all times. In the weeks that followed, Alexis lost her job, moved back in with her parents, and was ordered into therapy. That should have been the end, and in many ways it was. But here's what I learned: manipulation like that doesn't stop until you draw a hard line. I spent months thinking I could fix things, that if I tried hard enough, she'd stop testing me. But people who play those games aren't looking for love, they're looking for control. Even now, whenever my phone buzzes unexpectedly, I still get that little twinge in my stomach. Not fear exactly, but a reminder of what it felt like to live under constant tests. I passed the only test that mattered when I finally walked away.